try and film me doing this, and anybody, because all our young people in S2, what do I do during assemblies? Anybody want to tell me what I do during assemblies? I walk up and down like this. It's like watching a game of tennis. The wee ones in the front row are just constantly like that. So I will do my best to stand still, Mr. Clifford, because I know you are filming this. A huge warm welcome back to Alba Academy. It's been 2 very long years. 4th of March was our last time we had any parents into the building. So it's just so good to see you. I've been looking at Mr. Forrester for 2 years now, and let me tell you, you're a much more pleasant sight. Every day for 2 years, that's been what I've been looking at. So it is fantastic to have you back in the building. And I think what we're hoping, and I know things in the community, COVID's taken a wee bit more of a spike, but I'm hoping this is us back to some type of normality. And as we head into the summer months, we can have you back in the building more often. So a warm welcome today. And tonight we have lots of people waiting on you out there. So I'm going to take 10 minutes of your time just to give you a wee bit of context as to what we're looking at in terms of your option choices. And let you know who's going to be out there. I'll take any questions that I can answer, but I think the real deal, the people who can really answer all the questions are all out there. So I won't waste any more of your time. I'll go through a very, very quick presentation. And this is it. This is the crux of everything we're doing. We're going through a process with your young people today to make sure that they're making the right decisions moving forward. Normally what would happen, some people just come in there. Hello there, come on in. We're making decisions just now that, I suppose, as parents, it was different for us. I took my dad's advice. My dad told me to do certain things because that's what he did at school. And I found myself telling, I've got 3 sons, going through, 2 of them are going through subject choices, and I'm finding that I'm giving them advice that I think is right. I suppose what we're here to do tonight is to really let you see that things are slightly different now. Things are slightly different to when we were that wee bit younger. And the subject choices that we make now feed into what your young person will do when they reach the senior phase of the school. So, what would be my advice? Our young people are picking subjects just now quite early on in their school career. Now, some of that is to do with COVID. Normally we would have a slightly wider curriculum going into S3, and it would narrow as we get closer to S4, but we're narrowing earlier than we normally would. And that's because we've lost time in the classroom. So my advice to you as parents and to our young people is think very carefully what you're going to pick. I would certainly advise that you pick things that you enjoy, first and foremost, because on a rainy, horrible November morning, it's you that's getting out of your bed to come into that subject. So it needs to be something that you enjoy. It needs to be something that you find fun. Okay, maths is never going to be fun. I'm sorry, Mrs. Brown. However, something that you enjoy and you've got a real interest in. Because we're going to start your studies, change of timetable, hopefully mid-May, and that will be you starting to work towards, in some instances, your National 5 qualification as you go through S3. Now there will be a slight narrowing when you get to the end of S3, and you will drop 1 subject. So my advice is, what do you like? Because if you don't like it, it's going to be a long year. What do you enjoy? Because if you don't enjoy it, I guarantee you won't be successful at it. Young people who enjoy their subjects of study are 9 times out of 10 successful because they've already got that interest. They will work that bit harder, they will study that wee bit more because they have that interest. And that would be my advice to you. Pick a subject that you really enjoy. Please don't pick it because your friends are picking it. Please don't pick it because you really like the teacher. 1, because we can't guarantee you'll be in your friend's class, and 2, because we can't guarantee you will have that teacher. Please pick it because you enjoy it. Now, this has been an ongoing process. You will be aware of that. Our young people have gone through several straw polls. We've had a pupil assembly. We're part of the parental information evening tonight. This is all to give you as much information as possible, as much advice as possible, to answer as many questions as we possibly can, to make sure that when you sign on the dotted line, this is what I want to do. You've asked all the questions and you're satisfied that this is what you want to push ahead with. In terms of the final option, option form. We'll be giving out the option form. There's option forms available. When you complete that, if you still have any questions, please don't hesitate to come back to either Mrs. Brown as your head or Mr. Forrester. If there are things that you're not quite settled with, if there's anything at all, just please pick up the phone and get in touch. Because this is far too important a decision to make just to settle, oh, we'll just do this. No, please don't. Please pick up the phone, speak to us, because we will try and do our very best to find a solution for all of our young people. So please pick up the phone. When you meet, when young people will meet with their guidance teacher, it's beginning this week, isn't it? March 16th. We're going to begin the interviews. And it's just going through the process, going through what do you enjoy, what are you good at? Is this what you want to do? And at that point, the discussion itself, in your mind, may be already final. Trust me, I've got one who was in second year, just going into third year, and we signed off on his options, and he went in there the next day and he changed a lot of them. Let me tell you. And as a history teacher, when your son picks geography, it's a heartbreaker. That's still an ongoing huff in the house. But the conversation with the guidance teacher will be very full, very honest, and then at that point we can sign off. But as I say, if there's anything that comes down the line, if there's anything, if you get home that weekend and you just think, no, I want to change it, please pick up the phone and let us know. The options form itself is very, very straightforward. Again, if you get any concerns at all about that, please contact us, please grab us tonight for a conversation, and we'll maybe be able to help. And if not, again, if you go home, if there are any questions pop up, please contact us. The biggest thing for me as head teacher of this school is to make sure that we get pathways for all of our young people. This can't be a school for the teachers. It can't be a school that just suits us because we've got 3 chemistry teachers, 2 biology teachers, so therefore the curriculum fits. This needs to be a school that's here for every single young person that comes through the door. The 930 young people that we have in this school, it's their school. It's their school community, it's their school family, and therefore our curriculum needs to fit what they want to do. So therefore we need to put enough support around that to help with decision making. And in that, what you'll see is, you've obviously had information from your parents' meetings that you've had with our team, but when you go outside tonight, there are a huge number of partners, teachers, faculty, principal teachers, all there to support your decision making. We have colleagues from Forth Valley College. Now that kind of prompts that idea of, what do you want to do? Nobody needs to make a decision at the end of S2 what they want to be for later life, but it might be good to start thinking about it. We have our university partners from Stirling University there. You may already have a curiosity about a certain course or a certain pathway you want. Please ask them about it. That's why they're there. We have our careers coaches from Skills Development Scotland who will be working with you and have been working with you this year on checking in and again steering you and advising you. We also have our active schools team in terms of the work that we do with sports and the career opportunities within sports that we have in Clickmanager. And of course our wonderful guidance team, our heads of house, our principal teachers of pupil support, guidance staffer, that's old money. They're there, they're a constant in your life. They will be there to answer any questions that you may have as parents tonight. And probably the most important people in the room, when you go through, is the teachers. Just ask them, what am I going to be studying this year? What am I going to be studying next year? And where can I go after that? What are my pathways? Just ask them, because they're the experts. I could stand here all night and tell you how wonderful a school we are. Oh no, we'll get you the path. Go and ask them. Because they have the knowledge, they've got the experience, and they'll be able to tell you exactly what you should be expecting over the next few years. That seems a wee bit random, but 5 years ago, in the upper school we had 29 courses for our young people. We now have 65 senior phase courses. And why am I telling you that at the end of S2? I'm telling you that because maybe we should start to think about, where do you want to be in 2 years' time? Where do you want to be in 5 years' time? Where do you want to be in 10 years' time? That's a challenge to our young people here tonight. We need to start having those conversations, because you're no longer the babies of the school. You're young adults making adult decisions about your options. So maybe we do need to start thinking about, okay, if I take this course now, do I want to sit this at higher? do I want to sit this, do I need to take this college, will I go to college on a Tuesday and Thursday when I get to fourth year or when I get to fifth year? Let's start to have those conversations. Because there's 65 pathways there. I guarantee you can find me another school in Scotland that get 65 senior phase pathways. I buy them a cup of tea because I know how much work that takes for us to put that number of courses on. Whatever you want to do in your senior phase, we will find a way to help you and support you. And let's just start to get that into our thought process. Where do I want to be in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? And let's cut to the chase. What kind of career do you want? How much money do you want to earn? These are all questions that we can have and conversations we can have. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Forster. There you go. That's me. I'm not going to talk anymore because I want you to go out there and to talk to the real people. Does anybody have any questions for me just now, or any of the senior management team that we can answer? No? Oh, I nearly got away with it there.
Is the option form, is that finalised?
Mr. Forrester?
Not quite yet. We did a second straw poll last week with the pupils. We're still busy collating all the responses from that. And once we've got that, then it'll be finalised. But as Mr. McCain says, if it still doesn't work for you, talk to us about it. We'll see what we can do to help.
There won't be any major changes to what we put together.
It'll be similar.
Hello. Yes. Well, I'm saying yes, this is the man that timetables it, but what I do is always say yes and then I go and expect him to make it work. So, and he does, he absolutely does. We have a reputation, he's actually only 23, but I make him look this old, because what happens is we run courses that other schools, and I'm not mentioning any names, and it's, you know, in local authorities not too far away from here. If they had 5 or 6 young people who wanted to sit a course, they just wouldn't run it. They would describe it as their staffing just was uneconomical, we're not running it. We will run small classes because that's the pathway that our young people have chosen. And it's quite simple. That's my job. They want to pick that, they want to sit that course, let's do our damnedest to make sure they can do it. So at the moment I think we would be satisfying most requests, yes.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not going to say all of them.
He never says definite, but no. Yes.
We'll do our very best.
Yep.
Accommodate.
I've said yes, he will. Absolutely will. Any other questions? Perfect. Folks, then, without any further ado, again, just if you've got a face mask, you wear a face mask just when you're out with our partners, just keep it on. Please go and enjoy our hub and ask lots and lots of questions. And if you need to catch myself or any of the senior management team, just hang back and we can catch a quick one. Okay?